Warning, this show may contain mature language and is not suitable for small children, pets, or blood elves.
You're now listening to the Epic Fail Podcast.
Murr. Murr.
Murr?
Murr. Murr.
Murr.
Murr. Murr.
Moo.
Murr. 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 Murr.
There's Muppets in here?
Murr. Murr. Murr.
Moo.
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 Cows don't say murr.
Murr.
Well,
And yes, we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of Diablo this week, among other things. So yay, 20. Oh boy, there was some interesting stuff there. I will give them that. Not everything, but there was some quite a bit of it hidden actually, so that was kind of cool. But we're not here to talk about just Diablo. We have tons of stuff, and by tons, some. So we'll just go ahead and get right into it. This is episode 87?
yes.
Yes. I'm good at math. Because last week was 86 plus 1, 87.
Maths are hard.
Math are hard, yes. So, yes, 87. Woohoo! 100 more, and we can call the show Murder, Death, Kill, because that'll be funny. Note to self.
Yeah,
Okay.
we named that episode already.
Yep, one down.
And it appears that Scarlet might actually be muted. That is probably the third time that's ever happened.
Yeah, we got her.
Oops, muted.
Yep.
Wait a second. I was talking about the moos that weren't moos and I was muted.
No, we heard that part.
Oh, okay. I forgot when I muted.
Alrighty.
I was
Okay,
going to
go ahead.
say, are we naming our 100th episode Murder, Death, Kill?
187. Maybe.
Yeah, episode 187. Murder, Death,
So
Kill.
in 100 episodes.
I don't get it. But anyways, continue.
We'll explain it later. Anyway, as you noticed, the conductors are all present. All the hostages are here. So without further ado, from the land of, would you just please keep your snow? I'm tired of it already. We have Scarlet. How are you doing? What have you been up to?
You keep saying about snow, but we don't have snow. There's
It's 'cause you
literally
keep
no
giving it away.
snow. It's cold, but there's no snow. No snow at all. It's like
Both here.
it's a fall day. Guess what I got this week?
I don't want to.
I got a mount. I got a mount. I finished the achievements for some of the Pandaria raids, not the Throne of Thunder one, the one previous, like the Claxi and all of those raids. So I got that mount, and I also got my 5th legendary on the same tune. I got the neck piece. So that happened. I really wish, though, that Dragon Soul would just drop the mounts, because I've been killing those every week, and no luck.
I almost feel for you. And then
Then you don't. And If just as an FYI, if the background falls down tonight, sorry. I literally duct taped it up there. So that might be an epic fail moment happening. It stayed up there all day.
Get to twice in one show. Yes.
You may. So something happened. What was I going to say? The cats are talking. I totally forgot what I was going to say. Something about... Oh, no. So I ended up farming goblins all day yesterday. So I got the town portal thing. So I deleted my Hearthstone. That was fun. But apparently, if you ever need to reset your Hearthstone, you get it back. And yes, Osti, it is duct taped up there with 2 types of duct tape, but it's the outside wall, so it's cold, so sometimes the duct tape doesn't, like, stick, because I've put it up there twice before, and it fell off before the show on other days, so there's lots of tape now. We'll see. I'm sure there was something else, but that was...
Probably another mount.
No. Did you guys find the cow level in Hearthstone?
You already know my answer to that.
I'm aware of it. I'm aware of how to do it. I have not gotten there yet.
I have no idea how to do it. It just happened. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll talk
that.
about it.
So, yeah. Anyways, that was my week.
All right, so up next is Moo.
Moo.
And yes.
Moo.
So from the land of... It's only 97 in here tonight, guys. We have Theory.
You know, that would be funny if it wasn't very close to being true. Yeah, it's hot in here. Like, fans blowing. You can probably hear it. I'm sorry, not turning that MFR off because I need it. Because it's
Theory needs to sing the song.
It's getting hot in here, and I'm not taking off my clothes yet. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so like down here where there is no snow, it was close to 80 degrees outside, and my AC broke last Friday, and the part's coming in 3 days. So, yeah, it's hot. Can I have some of that cold weather, please? I know the people that live here who are mostly older can't drive in it. I don't care. I would take some snow right now. I'd be fine with that.
So it is currently 2 degrees outside with a wind chill of -17.
I'll have some.
Osti and Alessander have song requests for you.
Oh, you don't want me to sing that. You know, the funny thing is, I actually know the right Said Fred song. I'm just saying.
No, the other one, and Boots and Pants.
Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants. That one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Siri's song. Have you ever asked Siri how to beatbox? No. Okay.
That's our raid team's.
Hey Siri,
song.
can you beatbox? Oh, you know what? You know what works?
Practicing boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots. I could do
That's
this
boots
all
and
day.
cat.
Cats and boots
Yes.
and cats and boots 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 and cats.
So yeah, that's where that came from. If you were wondering.
It's supposed to be. No, it's not. It's a commercial. It's a piggy commercial from like years ago, and it's Boots and Pants.
I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, boots and pants. That's different. Anyway, it may be a completely different song, but the one that you're talking about, I don't know what you're talking about. So my week, it's been hot. I think I already talked about that. So CTM has been working on Mythic Odin, and we got very close. Mythic Odin dies at 10.5%, just like heroic and normal, and we got to 16%. And the problem is the part that's really difficult as a tank happens in the last 30 seconds of the fight. The rest of it is really not that hard once you kind of learn it. But it takes like 9 minutes, 8 minutes to get to that last 30 seconds of the fight. So you'll spend an hour and only get there like 5 times in order to try to do it. It's a pain in the ass. But we're that close. We're literally that close to get that one down. And I have a feeling that we will not have anywhere near as much trouble on Guarm. Guarm is pretty much a DPS check, and our DPS is really good in CTM. So shout out to all those high DPSers. But fire department cleared all their farm, and we're going to be going in working on some heroic Helia. Try to get her down before the patch. We're going to talk a little bit about that a little later. Pretty much, I think Chickens cleared all of their regular farm content this week as well. So, in WoW, it was a great week. Played a little bit of Overwatch, not much. Got some boxes over the holiday and didn't really get anything good out of them. And that's about it for me. How about you, Draven?
Well, in terms of... Well, I'll start with mainly Blizzard stuff, and then I'll make a comment on a couple things that weren't Blizzard related. I actually loaded up Diablo for the first time this week in about a season and a half. Maybe 2 seasons, because I didn't even log into it last season at all. We'll get into why here in a bit. Overwatch, I logged in and the screen berated me with, I don't know, like 15 achievements and 19 sprays or whatever was going on there. That was fun. Played the arcade.
So the screen yelled at you?
Yes, the screen yelled at me visually.
You said berated.
Yes. I got to play the new arcade, the new map, and got really confused because they added cars and there's no reason whatsoever to be near them at all.
It's visually appealing. It's a mall. You're in a mall.
You're not anywhere near. You don't even see them where you are. Like you're literally go
you're
out
in the mall,
gate.
walking from the parking lot into the mall.
There is no. You don't even turn. You go out your gate. You go around a little billboard-looking thingy, and in the next room is the capture point. There's no reason to turn towards the cars.
It's still visually appealing. There's hover cars in the Egyptian map. There's hover cars flying overhead. It's pretty.
Yeah, but I wanted to be in a spot that I could possibly get hit by a car. Or force my opponents to get hit by a car, and I just laugh at them.
I thought that was a thing. I thought there was a spot you could get hit by a car.
Yeah, but you have no reason to be anywhere near that area, is what I'm saying.
Oh, gotcha. So it's like a side area.
What you do is you chicken them over to it, and you get them to chase you, and then you kill them with the cars.
Play of the game. Car number 1. Yeah, so I did that. I'm currently 3 and 6 for my placements. So I'm about where I figured I would be on my placements. I might even have a win more than I thought, but got another one.
So I played competitive the other day, and I admit I am a bad Reinhardt. However, we were playing Ilios, the map with the well. Our Reinhardt literally went through our gate, stood in the corner by our gate with his shield up. That's all he did the whole game. So their team ran around and shot everybody in the back. So I'm running around trying to shoot them, and their soldier was just like, had his goal to kill me the whole time. So him and I were chasing each other around. I was Junkrat. But our Reinhardt literally just stood in the corner. Didn't even turn his shield when they were like killing everybody behind him. We did not have a bastion or anything. And we had someone on our team who was playing Diva, which I was really annoyed because I wanted to play her. And they just stood behind Reinhardt and kept shooting. And then they literally spammed attack the objective the whole game. Like, you couldn't type anything because it just disappeared in their spammy chat the whole game. It was horrible. So
I got to play Zenyatta.
I hope you did better than our Reinhardt.
Because of me, we won capture point 1, but no one was willing to do any kind of healing, and they didn't change their comp for any of the other ones, so we ended up losing. And I was like, I can't solo heal this, you guys. This is not a solo heal. I don't play support. And I was like, I don't play support ever. Do it anyway. Well, I'm the last one. I was the last one that loaded into the map, so I was like, well, I'll deal with it. I'll pick Zenyatta. Because at least then I can still do damage and only heal passively.
You can do quite a bit of healing.
Yeah. WoW-wise, Theory covered most of that. I still have not done a dungeon outside of raids since before BlizzCon. Yeah, I know. Hearthstone. Yeah, I did that. But the non-Blizzard thing, the Steam sale happened, so I grabbed a couple games there. The only one I've actually played was the South Park game, Stick of Truth. Theory was muted.
I'm actually turned down, but yeah, I had that one. Played it for a long time. It was actually a really good game. How much was it on sale for?
It was like $5.
Wow, I think I paid 50 for it or 40 for it, something like that.
Yeah, no biggie. But yeah,
it's not just
grabbed.
It's not just one of his raids. He's pretty much 50-50 on most of our raids too.
Yeah, well, when I show up and I'm accepted and I don't get an invite, I'm just like, oh, fine, I'll just do my world quest, and if I still don't get an invite, I'll just log off and do something else.
You know you can actually request an invite now?
I could.
So if somebody doesn't notice that you're on and then you're just there, well, they're not inviting me, so I'm going to log off. But they really didn't notice that you're on because they have the whole raid team on their friends list because they're the raid leader.
You know, most raids, and I'm gonna reach out and actually talk for other people and not just myself. Most people do their invites a little early. So there's a very good chance that when those invites from the calendar went out that says you were accepted, that they're actually just auto-inviting from the calendar, that you're not online or on the right character at that point. So you should probably speak up.
Yeah, that happened once, and I freely admit that was on me. But there was one that I was on early enough. So unless you invited over 20 minutes early.
I usually do 10
sometimes
minutes.
Happens.
Yeah. Either way, you guys.
But there's also sometimes
there's
also sometimes where I'm late and I don't do the invites. I mean, just again talking for our raid team.
Yeah, it's been one of those things where even though I didn't show up, you got progression. So I got the second kill Gorm for you guys. And I was
yeah.
Yeah. So I was okay with that. It was just one of those things where I was like, if I get invited, cool. If not, I can go do something else. It wasn't overly, like I said last week or the week before, or probably both.
Since you haven't done any dungeons, you might want to stack up some AP.
Hey, I'm at 6.5%.
Of what?
The thingy.
I'm on like number 39.
5%.
Oh, so you're 30.
5.5, 6.5.
37. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I've done quite a few, and that's just from world. That's just from World Quest, and I'm not even doing all of them.
But think about what you could be at. Oh,
I could be at. I could also have that Illidan quest done.
You know what?
I
got news about that quest, so let's hold our tongues on that. There's some news on that coming up later.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been our week. Yes, Austin, I have not been coming to you guys' raids, and I warned you about that with the holidays. There was pretty much zero chance until at least after New Year's that I would be there for like the last month and a half, 2 months.
He said it right here. He's going to be there next week.
Maybe. I have to look at my work schedule. If work schedule permits it, yes. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's enough for me. Let's go ahead and get into the actual show.
All right. This is the Blizzard news you can use. So, there was this big StarCraft tournament that happened today, and that other Canadian, Scarlet, apparently did pretty good because they're down to the final 8 today. Scarlet, I think this is you, and you just don't want to tell us that it's not you.
I wish I was a StarCraft pro. I wish I knew how to play StarCraft.
Because I heard that
She'd be like, I could totally be Diva in real life.
I heard that
But
the Scarlet has red hair too.
And she is from the same province that I am.
Yeah, it's a
Except
lot
I
of
wasn't born here, so that doesn't count.
it's a lot of coincidences. I'm just saying. It's a
You
lot
know
of
what? Can I be
coincidences.
24 years old again? I would love to be 24 years old.
Well, when I figure it out, I'll be sure to let you know right after I do it myself. So that was a big one that's coming up. Also, that guy Neeb. Remember that guy Neeb we talked about, who was the first American that won that crazy tournament and like made all the news and everything.
Yeah, first non-Korean to win a Korean tournament in like 16 years.
So he's going to be taking on Scarlet here, according to the brackets, very very shortly. I think, pretty sure. So
It's
yeah.
tomorrow, Saturday.
So there was a round that happened today that put them into this one that they were showing on Twitch. It may have been pre-recorded possibly, but they were showing it on Twitch today. So that's a little StarCraft tournament action going on, which is kind of cool. But yeah.
And
StarCraft.
there's
Alessandra's already counting down the hours. 11 hours, she says.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what about that? So tomorrow when I'm at work, I have my own personal commentator. Thank you, Alessander. Speaking of that, it's sort of StarCraft related, but it's sort of gossip, but I don't care because it's cool and cute. There's a StarCraft announcer named Artosis. He also does Hearthstone. He lives in Korea. He's married to a Korean lady. And they are going to have twins, a boy and a girl.
He
So that's
also
cool.
is one of the two who does the finals of Heroes of the Dorm when they do it.
He
So-
is like one of my favorite announcers. He's cool.
Wouldn't that just be news, not gossip?
All celebrity news is called celebrity gossip, whatever.
Gossip to me
News.
kind of infers some stuff was done that was done wrong. Like, you
Okay,
know,
so
like,
it's not gossip. It's
like
news.
if you know she was pregnant with some other like pro streamer's baby or something, that would be gossip.
No. They're happily married. They're an adorable couple.
I'm
And
only joking.
Alessandra
Only
agrees.
joking.
He's fantastic.
Other tournament news. I don't think I put this in the show notes. I did not. The HOTS tournament, Heroes, is going to begin the 21st of this month.
Which tournament's that?
Heroes, the HGC, the
HGC,
Blizzard
okay.
run, the big tournament.
Cool.
So I'm really looking forward to that because it's getting sporadic finding good Heroes play, and I'm just like, I want some good matches and not these weirdo, what the heck were they doing with that draft? Holy crap, it worked.
Gotcha.
Those are the fun ones.
Those are the fun ones, and there was no reason that draft should have worked. It was a chair league match,
But that's why it's fun.
and one team was like so outdrafted, which means they had the better team composition by far. For Theory, who doesn't care, and there was only one way for this other team to make it work, and there was like that just takes so much skill and coordination. It's just not going to happen. And then within 1 minute, they picked off 2 heroes of the opposing team, and they were like, okay, this is actually going to work. And you just completely raffle stomped the team that was supposed to win. It was really funny and really cool. So yay on that.
Well, speaking of things that I used to think were cool, next up, do you like rogues? Well, apparently there's going to be more rogues. Maybe. Draven?
Seems likely. There was some data mine stuff that Valera, who is a WoW rogue, is coming to Heroes later this month, the 24th. I'm sick of stealthies. Like, people are picking Nova, and I'm tired of seeing her. Zeratul is kind of a niche pick, but if you see one, he's usually pretty decent, and it's annoying. This, especially with this newest hero that just came out, Zul'jin, I'm not looking forward to seeing this hero. But at least I'll have leveled Zul'jin up before she's out, so I won't ever play him again once he's a certain level. But it'll be cool to see. It'll be cool to see a rogue. I just don't want to.
Well, I mean, it's still pretty early. You don't know how it's going to play yet.
The point of rogues is not to see them.
Good point.
So if you see them,
as the joke comic I
someone's
saw
doing
earlier
it
goes,
wrong.
I saw a comic earlier. It was about a rogue school, and the teacher looks at the student. I didn't see you in stealth practice class today, and the student just looks and says, "Thank you, sir."
Let's be rogues.
I have a rogue. I don't know. Like,
I
okay,
have two.
I actually have a
100.
rogue.
I have a horde rogue that I haven't logged into in probably 4 months. That's 100. But
Guess what my rogue's name is?
I need more mounts. That's too
Nope.
long.
Rouge.
No.
Scarlet. With some other spelling.
No.
Scarlet
Hasselhoff.
rogue.
Alessander will know what that is.
Hasselhoff sounds like an outfit from a strip club that David Hasselhoff goes to often.
No, it's one of
It
my.
sounds like the name of the strip club that he would buy and own.
Yes, I agree. Even better.
Exactly, Alessander. He's a Kender from a book series. They're kind of like gnomes, but a little taller. So it's a gnome rogue. And he's adorable. But he's currently in a class trial boost, so I'm going to have to boost him if I ever want to play. He is one of the most famous Kenders. He's adorable.
So we alluded to Diablo being all over the place last week in our show, Moo. But we didn't really go into detail. This is pretty much what we showed last week, and it talks about a few different things. Obviously, Diablo 3, some other stuff. Draven, talk about the non-specific stuff that we're going to talk about here in a minute.
Mostly what we got, like in Heroes, was a brawl, which is just the Diablo tile set with merc camps, and it's no matter how if you set it up to do a draft, you still get random. And we found this out the hard way because I was part of a streamer's. We're going to do a draft on this. And we drafted, and we went through and drafted and drafted and drafted. And then all of a sudden, I'm on Murky, and I didn't pick Murky. So we figured out it's 100% random all the time.
Draven got
Interesting.
shafted?
No, actually, I got MVP. they were like, it's Murky, who cares? And all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I'm all up in your face killing your stuff.
It's supposed to be in your base killing your dudes.
Yeah,
your
well,
base,
all the
killing
dudes
your
were I didn't have to kill the dudes, I was killing the base itself.
Okay.
For Overwatch, we got some sprays, which I talked about earlier. There's a ton of them. StarCraft, Portrait. And that's...
I like the sprays in Overwatch.
Yeah, I'm thinking about using them. They're all like the Diablo characters. There's, Monk, Witch Doctor, Barbarian, all the fun ones. And if you look close, you'd be like, I can see that being like the hero's person. Like it's a female wizard, so it's like, yeah, leading thing, spray. But they used a male barbarian instead of the female barbarian, which is fine, but I was like, oh, I can't use Sonya. I can't say it's Sonya. 'Cause that would be bad.
I think you're reading a
Sonya?
little bit too much into that. Just
I don't
I
even
know,
know
I
who
just-
Sonya is.
Female barbarian put into heroes.
I see.
Um,
and StarCraft had a portrait, right? Worker
yeah, StarCraft
portrait.
had a Diablo-themed portrait, so which is pretty much all you can do in StarCraft is you get portraits, kind of like your player icon in Overwatch. So
Yeah, that one's a little bit less big.
yeah,
That's all the main ones besides WoW and Hearthstone, though, right?
WoW, Hearthstone, and Diablo itself. Yeah,
And okay, so Diablo itself, what was the big difference there?
I got to kind of, sort of, ish play Diablo 1 again.
That's what it looked like. I watched the video, and it seemed like it was just some of the same
It's-
mobs, kind of.
It's all the same levels that we have now, but it's all pixelated, and they didn't do the 9-direction movement. They literally, like they said they would, it's literally you can move in any direction you want, which kind of sucked. But everything got updated, and I found out that you have to be in adventure mode, which I knew, but it doesn't have to be seasonal. So if you do it normal, you can put all your Paragon points that you have accumulated into a brand new character and just walk through and flick things to death. Twice! We got her twice! She's muted again!
Oops.
No, that's still two.
I was going to say that just sounded completely
That's why
innuendo-ish.
I gave it the hand motion to try to take the Inu out, though.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you like have a ton of crafting materials, you can totally just completely overpower everything, which I totally didn't do ever. Cough, cough, wrong. So,
All right, so let's talk about some Diablo stuff in WoW. So,
ooh,
Moo. I gotta tell you, I did it right before the show. But the biggest thing is obviously there actually is a cow level that you can go into now. There's some issues for some people getting there. The one that I did was at the end of a dungeon run. I literally queued for a heroic that I didn't need just to be able to get in because it was going to give me a free satchel and a chance to kill the treasure goblin at the end and get into it, which it was super fast and kind of fortunate for me. As soon as I zoned in, Cow King was right in front of me, so it was like, okay, you're gonna die, and then the loot just sprung all over the place. But a couple of quick things. When the treasure goblin dies, it drops gold on the ground like it happens in Diablo. So if you click on the portal too quick, you're not going to be able to loot the treasure goblin. So yeah. And one thing that I noticed as I was kind of exploring, the ground lights up in a way that's very reminiscent of Diablo. As I'm walking around Duskwood trying to explore and see how far it would let me go, literally there was a circular lit area around my character, like as if I was carrying a torch or something like that, which I thought that was pretty cool. But the cows really just sounded like a person saying moo, 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 which was pretty fun.
which is exactly when they actually did put a confirmed cow level into Diablo 2, what the cow level was.
Yeah.
People saying moo.
Yeah.
So
Did
that was great.
either of the two of you do this cow level?
I went right after raid Wednesday night before I logged off for the night.
Nice.
I went to Dalaran Sewers.
That's the one people have had issues with.
I went down there. The sewer guards were, okay, break's over, and they came back. I was like, okay, I'll go in now. And then I turn and look. Oh, there's a treasure goblin over there. It's almost dead. Let me get a... Oh, it's dead. There's a portal. Click the portal and go in. Cow King is right there. Kill him. Killed some cows along with it, thinking they might drop loot. They don't.
Nope.
So yeah, you just loot the Cow King, and you can farm the treasure goblins, but not the Cow King. So that's sad. Once a day.
Yeah.
The Cow King I thought was once ever.
The
Once a day.
the confusing part is if it's once ever, it would be very difficult to complete that toy for the town portal.
No, it's not. No, it's
100%.
super easy.
How do you get them other than from him?
Treasure Goblin.
Well, I didn't loot the treasure goblin.
Well, if you
Oh,
click
that's
off
your
the
fault.
buff, if you click off the buff when you're in the Cow King level, it ports you right back to the Treasure Goblin's body.
So that's not what happened to me. I let the buff run out, and it put me to the front of the dungeon, like
Right, 'cause you
outside
started in a
the front of the
dungeon, but-
dungeon.
Right, because it's not going to put you in the same instance because you went from one phased instance to another. However, with the underbelly, it just puts you right exactly back in the underbelly, and you
Gotcha.
can go run to the little goblin. But it's honestly not that. So there's a thing about it. I was down there because I was farming Sightless Eyes too, because I am going to get that mount in the next couple weeks. I'm at like 3,000 eyes out of 20. But when the guards leave, your bodyguard leaves, you can just go run and get another bodyguard. So you can pretty much stay down there with the bodyguard the complete time. Just saying.
Interesting. I will say that I am not sure it's once a day, Alessander. Have you done it more than once, Scarlet?
The Mad King?
The Cow King, yes.
No, because Wowhead said he's once ever, not once a day. And then there was just goblins all over the place. So it took me, literally, when I went to do it, it took me like maybe 40 minutes. And that was stopping to go help somebody by running out of the sewers and then going back in.
Yeah.
Didn't take me long at all.
So Iron says he got ganked continuously by a fellow guildie, which I find very humorous.
That is kind of funny. But why didn't you just get a guard? Yeah, Iron says you can only loot once on each tune.
Murder says sorry because he thinks he was ganking you. I have talked about when I was fighting Tatva in Bareback Brawl up in Stormheim, but actually I think I was on a yak because isn't it the yak the one that like knocks you like way the hell off the mountain? So I always try to get one of those.
I don't know.
Bareback on a yak. There you go.
Neither do I,
there's a
Iron.
song
Show
for you.
title.
Bareback on a yak. So yeah, I rather enjoy that. But I mean, Iron got to watch me kill a couple of hordes and die a couple times during my pre-show tonight. I get the little itch every once in a while. And to be perfectly honest, if it's a guildie and it's one of those areas, I'm going to shoot them first. So I think it's funny. Now, if they're getting ganged up on, that's a different story. But one-on-one, yes, I'm going to shoot the guildie.
I
Unless
always
that person getting ganged up on is me, and then he's going to join in on the ganging up on.
You know,
Well-
I'm not the one making innuendos tonight. You guys are.
I don't know what you're talking about. But Draven, I was coming after you before and after those guys were coming after you. And before and after and before and after and before and after until you quit.
I quit because I finished the area. I was done, so I was like, I'm done.
At least
See ya.
this didn't mean you had to leave the PvP zone. But anyway, we can keep going.
I had other things to do, like the other world quests that give AP.
Sure. So all in all, what do you think of the Cow King in WoW? I thought it was kind of cool.
I like
was-
it.
It was cool. I like it. I just wish there was something else there besides just the cow level and the treasure demons, because that's actually what they're called. I would have liked to have seen some other Diablo boss show up somewhere, but
Like a
No.
Diablo pop out of the ground, just you have to go kill like a holiday boss.
yeah, I mean he's a demon. Why not throw him in the Legion for the event?
Where are you gonna find him, though?
I don't know. Doesn't matter where.
Yes, it does.
No,
He's
it
not
really,
gonna
to
pop
me,
out of the underbelly. Diablo.
No, I mean you could take a portal to a level that's already out there. They've got plenty of instance places. You could even replace a boss with him. It doesn't matter where they put him to me. It's just I wanted to see him there. So it'd be nice if. Yeah.
I guess I can see what you're talking about. Some of the loot,
Or put him and his brothers, since he's got two brothers. Put
That'd
all
be neat.
three of them in an area. That'd be cool.
so some of the loot, 12-string guitar seems to be the biggest one everybody's worried about, which plays the
that gives you
song
the
from
achievement.
Diablo and gives you the achievement, which is pretty cool.
And it has a 66-minute and 6-second cooldown.
Ah,
I like
I
that.
didn't know that. That's funny.
You can only play it outside though, or no, not in. You can only play it in inns or something like that.
Yeah.
I love the cooldown on it, the numbers, but at the same time, it lasts for 12 seconds.
Now,
So
That's too long of a
so
cooldown.
many comments.
Scarlett's mind is just stuck in a gutter. But okay.
You guys are making this way too easy today.
I don't know. So you guys are pretty much going to have to talk about the Hearthstone part because everyone is aware that I really don't play Hearthstone anymore. But the first thing was a new brawl, right? New Tavern Brawl.
Yes. New Tavern Brawl against the Dark Wanderer, aka the whenever you zone in, none of your business is what he calls himself. Which I thought was cool. You create your own deck. I'm going to give you a bit of a secret here, guys. Have a couple battle cries, have a couple death rattle, have a couple charge. You know, that kind of thing. If it's in the game, put it in your deck simply because he's got like 9 secrets possible. Something like that. And you don't know which 3 you're going to get. So there's one not have 9 cards or more in hand. You know, there's just tons of options there. And Scarlett, you said earlier you don't know how to get to the cow level, but you managed to do it. You want to know how you get there?
Yes.
You popped all 3 of his secrets.
I figured it might have been something like that, but
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly.
So there's actually a cow level in Hearthstone inside of the Tavern Brawl?
It's a hidden thing. You have to pop all 3 of his secrets. It could be any combination of 3 of those secrets that you just had up on the screen. And the only way to get the portal to pop is to pop his secrets. Hence, why I said to bring a mixed deck.
Gotcha. Well, that makes
So-
sense.
I built a deck specifically trying to get this, and I never managed to. But I killed. I made him draw out. I killed him via BMing him. I totally didn't ever. I got him down to 1 health and never attacked him again. And he just fatigued himself out.
Dang.
I was like, it was a Murloc deck. It was so funny.
Wait, you went up against the Cow King with a Murloc
No,
deck? That just seems
the
sad.
Wanderer. The Wanderer
Fine, you
with the
went
Murloc.
up against the Wanderer with the Murloc. That just
And I
sounds
decimated him.
sad. Sad.
It was funny. But I haven't been able to pop all 3 secrets yet.
I'm sure there's a list somewhere of what they are.
Yeah, we just had it up on the screen.
Yeah, I literally just had it on the screen. You want me to bring it back up? I can bring it back up.
No,
Okay.
it's all good.
So that's how you get there. It's just a matter of popping his secrets and getting the cow.
Cool.
Cool.
Almost enough to make me want to play some more Hearthstone, but not quite. So
You should.
While I think you should try it, this is probably not the one to try since it is a construct your own deck.
Yeah, that's back to the whole I'm not gonna spend a bunch of money on cards thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. So we've got some other news, but most of it's all WoW related. So let's go ahead and jump into some WoW.
World of Warcraft.
So the first thing is kind of WoW, but it's also I tell you what, that's going to be the second thing. We need to talk about the big news of the day. And the big news of the day is breaking news. No, it's not Moo. It is official. 715 will be out on January 10th. It was a couple of different places. You could find that out today. One of which was a launcher. There was also a blue post that happened this afternoon, and a bunch of other things that made it official that it is coming out. The crazy part about this mini patch, whatever you want to call it, coming out, is that I don't believe there was ever a release candidate, which they always used to always have a release candidate, and then it was 2 weeks after that was when you could expect it. So they've broken that pattern, and they're still hot fixing the PTR patch less than a week before the patch comes out in pretty large ways. So we're breaking into some pretty cool new territory, but we will not really be able to trust what has happened in the past as far as the new patches coming out. But I thought this was kind of funny. This is a kind of a South Park clip talking about that they're reporting that 715 was going to come out, so I used that.
I just have to give you credit for having this clip, the graphic here.
Yeah.
I think it's hysterical.
Yeah, especially
What you're
because
saying is
yes,
you have trust issues.
I know I do.
I don't know where you found that, but it's accurate. But
You said you can't trust the previous patches now.
Well, you can't, because you used to be able to pretty much bank on when it was going to be, and they've done everything differently this time. So interesting stuff. So here's the real picture for 715 that was out today, with our little chat on top of it. But that's the biggest news of the day is 715. But part of 715 is going to be the addition of Brawlers Guild coming back, and specifically something Dravid pointed out that I didn't see. There's gonna be a little Overwatch in our Brawlers Guild, because they knew we liked Overwatch, so they put some Overwatch in our Brawlers Guild, in our WoW, because we like Overwatch.
You have to read the actual title, okay?
The actual title?
The description of that picture.
We heard you like Overwatch?
No, the Blizzard picture.
Hudson Dupree, Stuff Shrew? That one?
Okay, no.
So,
I'm bringing it up.
Legion Brawlers Guild rank 6
You guys
bosses?
missed the whole point of the Overwatch.
How?
Overbrawl?
Freeze! Don't move! It's Overwatch! Sure, heroes never die, but you'll only get to experience tranquility by putting the hammer down. Bombs away, we're all ogres now. Hello? That's cute!
Okay, what's that got to do with what we're talking about?
It's the description in that picture that you're looking at.
Oh,
It's the description of the thing on the World of Warcraft site for that boss.
So there's no ogres for this boss.
I don't care. That's what it says.
So
It's
it
the monkey, but it still
doesn't
is
make any sense.
Overwatch.
It doesn't make any
Either
sense.
way.
If you look in
Either
the
way.
background, those two little dudes with him is like a little Junkrat and Roadhog.
Well, it's Dupree. Do you see Hudson, Dupree, and Stuff Shrew? Those names
Right.
coordinate with names in Overwatch. Those are those three characters. The monkey in the middle is supposed to be. Come on.
Look at the picture.
I've seen the video. I don't need to look at the picture.
But they're
This
like
is a picture
little,
of the video.
It's a little Junkrat and Roadhog looking thing. You guys are totally missing it.
I almost feel like you're looking at a different picture.
So basically, there's a lot of Overwatch characters kind of getting ported into Brawlers Guild. Not just Winston and McCree and such.
No,
Reaper, Reaper is there. Roadhog is there. Tracer is there.
So there's a whole
Reinhardt
bunch of
is
them.
there.
Okay.
Okay, check the link I just sent you and scroll down to the picture. This is
Yes, so
hysterical.
that's a completely different picture.
Right,
And
but it's the same boss that you're looking at, and it has the tag, and you can see that they look like Junkrat and Roadhog.
well, they shouldn't look like Junkrat and Roadhog because it's Dupree is not Junkrat or Roadhog. Dupree is the cowboy. And the monkey is Winston. So something's crossed here with the wires. But yes, you are looking at something different than what I posted. So there's the confusion.
Yeah, and also having looked at that picture, that is McCree, not Junkrat or Roadhog.
Yeah, it's
that you're
McCree.
thinking.
He's got a cowboy hat on. Dupree is McCree.
He looks like Junkrat, and the other guy looks like Roadhog.
I don't even... Oh, okay. I'm going to have to agree to disagree with you. But yeah, so that's coming as part of 715. However, you will have to get a new invitation. Your current invitations will not work. They drop from a few different places, including the elites on the island off of Stormheim, where those bosses are basically like it's an island full of mini bosses. So you'll probably see groups kind of raiding those areas to try to get their invites shortly after the patch launches, I bet. So check Group Finder for that if that's something that you're into. But many other things in 715 coming, including all of the massive amounts of class changes, which they didn't really dive into too much with their videos today. But they are all going live. Mist Pandaria Time Walking is coming out. It's going to join the rotation, which is pretty cool. The new micro holidays are coming. Which we knew the patch had to be happening sometime these 2 weeks because there's a micro holiday at the end of this month. And then they're going to have some more developer Q&As coming up here shortly too, which I'm kind of surprised that this didn't already happen. Because I thought that the Q&A would come out before the patch did. So unless they're going to do it on Monday, it's probably not going to be the case.
So, quick question. Did you guys notice the other bosses for the Brawlers Guild?
Some of them, yes.
The other cutesy ones?
Well, there's lots of cutesy ones. They're almost all cutesy ones. What do you mean?
We have Ash Kitsum. He wants to be the very greatest. You gotta catch him each.
So it's a Pokemon thing? Okay.
And then there's also Master Paku. He wants you to keep calm and om nom nom.
You're taking so
adorable.
much of this like text, like.
It's cute. That's
Okay.
what I'm trying to say. It's adorable. They made the
Alright.
Brawlers Guild awesome. We should expand on that. You guys just can't like.
We'll see how
talk about,
awesome it is when we actually get in there and fight them.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be difficult, of course. It took me forever
Well-
to beat the first Brawlers Guild.
So to kind of calm Charlotte's point down, there's a lot of new bosses and there's a lot of old bosses, and there's some bosses that were reworked that were previously the special bosses that you had to have the challenge card for that are in there as well. But a lot of
I
these,
just hope Bruce comes back.
yeah, Bruce needs to be back one way or another, but I don't see him here. He'll probably be a special one. But Meatball is back again. There's Max Mega Blast and Bo are back. It's I would say about a little more than half are bosses that were there before, and then they added a few in. But it'll be fun. I have a feeling that it's going to be difficult to get the invitation, at least at first, without grinding that island, though.
Grinding the island, emissary,
Yeah.
and I believe completing mythic dungeons
Yep.
is the only way to get them.
That's what it said. Yeah. But you notice that there is a challenge card, Seagull.
Oh yeah.
That is funny as hell. That should have just been one of the bosses. Seagull should have been a boss.
No, that has to be a challenge. That has to be a challenge card. That can't be one of the bosses.
Okay, so that is Brawler's Guild. that Scarlett really wanted to talk about a lot.
It's not just the Brawlers Guild. If we're talking about WoW and what's coming up, it's the whole thing. You guys are like, it's like you spent like 2 minutes on the topic. Okay, next topic. But there's a whole bunch of like new stuff coming out that's adorable, and we should talk about it.
What's so funny about this is that when I was making a comment about how they should release all of this new content that was already done, like 3 weeks ago, I got trolled for an hour about it, and now it's kind of reversed.
No,
and
you
I've
guys
been
are
on
just
the giving
silly.
end of the trolling both times.
So anyway, that's 715. It's coming out on Tuesday. I'm sure we'll have at least probably an hour of downtime, maybe more, for it to launch. Most of the questions about class changes have been somewhat answered. They did come out with a special thing today talking about how they are fixing storm, earth, wind, and fire, or whatever it is, for windwalkers, which was a point of contention for a lot of them that was just broken. And supposedly that will be fixed for Tuesday. So they'll be very, very happy about it as well. But yeah, Scarlett, anything else you wanted to talk about on this subject before I move on?
Nope.
Okay.
We've gotten the cute out of her.
It's all happened. All right. So
You guys have no sense of cute.
we were talking earlier about the Illidan questline. Guess what? Warcraft Dev says, we're not entirely sure how this rumor got started, but it's false. The 7.1.5 legendary upgrades are not connected to the Illidan chain. So all of you folks who are worried about getting that Illidan quest done, you should probably still do it so you get some AP, but you don't have to upgrade your legendaries, which is cool. And if you notice, the first comment
Story.
from Chinglish down the bottom, thank you, sweet baby, small Jesus. I thought that was funny from Chinglish on there. But anyway, so that happened today. So,
I was gonna say there is a reason to do it though.
well, there's lots of AP.
Story.
The story's very
Not
good.
just
and
the AP and the story.
Okay.
There's a really unique transmog from it.
Okay.
You get it as quest rewards. It's really cool.
All
I
right.
finished it.
Interesting. Okay. So yeah, I mean, everybody's gonna want to do it anyway, and eventually they probably will finish it because it's one of those things where you get it every time you do a dungeon. Although, you know, some people don't do
You
dungeons.
just have to do dungeons.
Yeah, but you know,
All right, so here's my issue with it. Up until that quest, you're just out doing stuff. Now this is forcing you into, you have to do this style. And I had the same issue with the legendary system back in Pandaland and all that when they forced the PvP thing. But that wasn't 8 weeks of it. That was, here, just win a couple games. So it wasn't nearly as bad. This is 8 weeks of, hey, go collect all this crap that you can only get so many of in a week. And it just made me want to not do dungeons more than I already didn't want to do dungeons.
so all I'm
them
hearing is
forcing it.
I'm just hearing you cry. That's all I'm hearing is QQ. But
You mean moo moo?
maybe.
Moo? Moo?
And see, they say we're not having any fun, and we're joking about mooing the entire time. I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
The moos were like murs.
No, I said moo.
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 Mer.
War tool. Okay. Yep. Yes, it is very hot here. I am melting, but I don't think it took all my fun away. So that was one tweet that happened today. We still have another thing that was for a while. Let me pull this back up here real quick. So that was one tweet that came out today. There's another one that has a little bit more to do with what's going to be coming out the following week when Nighthold comes out, which we touched on a little bit for the past couple of shows as far as when it was supposed to come out. They confirmed it was coming out on the 17th a while ago, but they actually gave us the schedule this week. So normal and heroic open on the 17th. Following week, Mythic difficulty and Raid Finder Wing 1. The week after that, you get Raid Finder Wing 2. Week after that, Raid Finder Wing 3. And then March 7th wraps up with the 4th wing of Raid Finder. It's kind of funny that it's 4 parts, but I guess it's enough bosses where it kind of makes sense. And Raid Finder is much more tolerable when it's not 6 or 7 bosses, in my opinion. Anyway.
Yeah, it's 10 bosses total. So I don't know how they're going to break this up, because the last wing is, I think, just going to be Gul'dan by himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's 4 wings for 9 bosses. So you're looking at probably wing 3 is going to be 2 bosses, and the rest of them will have, well, let's see, 2. One of them will have 3.
It'll be 3,
and
3,
the other
3,
ones will
1.
have
There's 10.
1. Yeah.
It'll be 3, 3, 3, 1.
Which always seems silly. Why would you only have 1 in a wing?
But that's kind of how they did EN as well. I mean, EN was 3, 3, 3, 1, or no, 3, 3, 1, something like that.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just it still seems weird that it's 1 boss for an entire wing, which for the last boss I kind of get, because that way you don't have to worry about missing a boss if you get queued in.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It just seems weird to me. Still,
yeah, you'd almost think they'd do 3, 3, 2, 2 instead, just so that way it was a little bit more than just 1 boss. But I don't know. To be perfectly honest, as long as it's not 6 or 7 of them in one Raid Finder, I'm fine with it. Just don't make it be 6 or 7, and I'm good.
How often are we doing Raid Finder? I mean, really?
That's true. I think I've only done Raid Finder like once this expansion so far, because I've had no need to do it whatsoever. But you know, with Nighthold,
Raid Finder since Mists.
But you may be doing it coming up, because with Nighthold, supposedly, from what I heard, you can get tier gear and LFR again, which I thought they weren't going to do anymore, but apparently they did again. So if you're looking for your tier set,
I don't know. We'll see. If it's regular tier gear, then maybe I'll do it. But
yeah, it's supposed to be regular tier gear.
Yeah, if it's what they did before, where it's the off tier gear, which is not tier but set bonus gear, then I don't know if I will. It just depends.
Yeah. So to go with that was the final tweet of today that we came out that I wanted to put in here as well. And it specifically, somebody had this question, which at first I thought, you know, this is kind of duh, but then at the same time, well, good. We definitely don't need an attunement for Nighthold. Apparently somebody was saying that they needed to finish all of the Suramar content before you could do Nighthold, and no, that is not true. So
that wouldn't even make sense.
It kind of would.
They've done this kind of thing in the past, but it was a long damn time ago. But it is kind of the story leading up to it.
Yeah, but you didn't have to do like Dread Wastes before you could do the Klaxi raid. It's kind of the same thing.
Well, they haven't done this kind of an attunement in a while. It's just the way that because I've done the story in Suramar. You are literally getting to the door of the Nighthold. So
it's definitely a lead up to
spoilers.
It, but
whatever.
But I mean, there's been many raids where you did have to do an attunement. There was things that you had to get keys for and all that kind of stuff. But that was a long time ago, and they haven't done that in a while. But I would suggest anybody who is bored, who's looking for some content to do, if you've not finished this, you probably should, for the simple fact that there's lots of AP tied up in pretty much all of these quests, and the storyline's actually pretty good. If you can get by with the fact that Suramar can be total aids to try to walk through and get to where you're trying to go to if you're not like a rogue, it's actually really good content, so you should definitely do it.
And especially at this point where it is possible you have maxed out your artifact knowledge.
Yep. Yeah, I've maxed mine out.
That's a ton of AP if you are just now going to run through it and do it all.
So Kara was a raid, which was an attunement when it first came out. You had to have someone get a key.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the current Kara. At least I think so. At least that's the one I'm talking about.
Gotcha. I mean, current Kara, there was an attunement, yes. And yes, it was an optional one, but the original one, it was not. And there was dungeons back in BC that you had to have keys for. But anyway, so I think that's probably where that came from, is just people being worried that they had to complete that on all their tunes before it made sense. But I mean, in general, they definitely seem to be kind of taking away a lot of that gating, just because of the fact that it makes it more difficult for a very large percentage of the player base to enjoy the parts of the game that are supposed to be the best content. So I wouldn't imagine that they would do that. But we have reached the end of our show notes. And it's
that was
really
fast.
Really strange, because it's like not even an hour, or just over an hour.
Hey, look,
Well,
that's
other
why we
than
could have discussed cute and kitschy things that are going to be coming up in WoW,
Which we did.
because it makes sense.
Somebody discussed them rather heatedly.
Yeah, because you guys are just skimming over that. Our show would have been 10 minutes shorter.
No, my thought on Brawlers Guild is that we're not actually in it. Once we actually have a chance to do it, we can talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah, but it's not going to have the cute little taglines when you kill the boss.
To be perfectly honest with you, their cute little taglines that they wrote on their news thing doesn't do anything for me whatsoever. I'm glad
should.
you enjoyed it.
It should.
Yeah.
Do a lot.
Yep.
Alessander says, talk
yep.
about new pets in the underbelly. I don't know anything about new pets in the underbelly.
The turtle's been there for a while, Alessander. I think it's kind of been there since Legion. But there is, if you haven't got it, have you got the Dust Bunny pet? Because that, I just got that like a couple weeks ago.
They have a Dust Bunny pet?
Yes. You have to go find...
Does it roll on the ground and it just like looks like a little ball of dust, or is it actually a bunny?
You have to go around Dalaran, and there's little rugs you can click, but they only spawn every few minutes, and only one person can click them. And when you do, you get the buff, and then the buff allows you to see these pets for 15 minutes. So you can go trap them all. So I got all 3.
Oh, so you have to actually like trap them. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
They're so adorable. Oh, I did get something this week.
Something
Speaking
else,
of
you mean?
pets, yes. I did the Algalon fight with so I was missing the one pet from the Lich King, and I asked somebody in my raid, I'm like, can you pretty please trade me the pet, and then I'll trade it back to you after I learned it, so that way I can get the achievement. And I did, and they did, and then I traded it back. And then I went and fought Algalon, and I got the Celestial Bunny, and he's really, really adorable. So that, yeah, that's awesome. You guys should do it if you haven't, because it's so fun.
I have gotten 0 pets to drop, so.
Farm faster?
I mean, I could do it on more characters, but I've gotten 0 of those pets.
Yeah, there's a blind rat.
Yeah, there's a blind rat and young mutant war turtle, because saying Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle would be copyright infringement. So yeah, there's some cool new pets. The big thing I'm looking forward to is how the stat changes is going to work. And that right there is why I have so much gear in my bag still.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going to need X amount of haste no matter what. And if they're squishing haste, I need to get it back up. So I've been collecting haste pieces.
So, from what I understand, your main stats will be king. So, in almost every case, you will go with a higher item level because it'll have your main stats on it, which are more powerful than the secondaries, no matter what they are.
Well, I'm talking like similar item level.
I get
like
it.
Same item level. I still am going to have, because I'll have the same, in my case, strength, since same item level. So I'm going to want X haste, X crit, X mastery, that kind of thing. And I need to drop some mastery soon because that's way too much.
So, last question probably of the night. Alexander says, which class artifacts have you guys seen and which story did you like? Scarlett, you want to go first?
Demon Hunter. What? Shocker. I did part of my Death Knight and part of the Monk. They at least have their first artifact, but I didn't totally pay attention to the story. But I did a bit. But I get invested more into the story for the character I'm playing, so I'm going to have to say the Demon Hunter story. And with the Illidan quest chain, we just got Illidan's soul or something, so that was cool. We rescued him from Hellia, although he's not back yet, but that is still cool. So, Demon Hunters.
Draven?
Well, is it which ones have I seen or which ones have I played?
She actually...
'Cause that answer is going to be different.
Well, that's good. That could be interpreted either way.
Yeah. I've seen all of them. I have acquired most. So, for what I've actually played, Ret Paladin has been my favorite. The Paladin one, just because, Tyrion got to die and I got his sword.
That's so sad.
No, it's actually kind of cool.
Congrats, Alessander.
Yay. Which ones do I like? I like, and I have a really sick reason for doing this, for liking it. I really like the Death Knight one, just for how it ends.
Yep.
The very next to last thing that happens for it. I'm like, yeah! And
So
that's because I'm a paladin.
Don't ruin it, because the Death Knight one is the only one I have not done.
I won't ruin it. But yeah,
so,
it's one of my favorites from what I've seen.
So yeah, I mean, I've done at least one class artifact on everything except for Death Knight at this point. On a few of them, I've done all of them. My thought on story, Paladin one was very good. Didn't matter if you were prod or ret, really. The only scenario was really the difference. The rest of it was basically just for the not the class, not the spec. The priest class waterfall is very awkward. The artifact for Shadow is very cool itself. The quest line to get it is meh, and their class hall is just a big open room that doesn't make any sense. They're a priest. It should be some type of cathedral.
It's a spaceship.
It's like you're in a bubble. It doesn't make sense. And why would a priest be in a spaceship? It doesn't make sense. Hunters.
Oh, you'll find out.
Aren't they from the Eridar?
Priests from the Eridar? Isn't the Eridar part
I'm
of...
not going to spoil anything, but let's just say there's a reason that Velen, at the end of that little thing where we kill his little kid, who is a demon, says, "We're going home."
That's my point. Like, the Draenei are originally priests. Aren't they?
Well, some of them are.
Yeah, not all Draenei are priests, and not all priests are Draenei. It's... That doesn't make any sense to me. But
yeah, there's a reason why the priests got that, and Velen is a big part of it.
Well, I still think it's awkward without seeing the end, so...
Not arguing, but I'm just saying.
The rogue story was very cool. The way that they access their order hall and the storyline was good for rogue. Leveling them is kind of a pain in the ass, which is why I haven't leveled mine yet. Demon Hunter was cool. Demon Hunter made sense. They have a very interesting way to get to the class hall in comparison to most of the rest of them.
We jump.
Yeah, jump and glide.
Or if you fall, you get flown by a bat.
The one thing that I'll say that I don't like is any of the hidden artifact skins that you have to do the withered scenario for. That is crap. But I think that's it. Do you guys have anything else that you want to talk about tonight?
I'm gonna agree with Galv in the in chat, at least in terms of acquiring it. The acquiring your artifact as a hunter was kind of because I've acquired at least one on every class. Most of them are 2 or all of them.
Yeah.
Bear. I have 2 more to get for bear, or for druid rather.
Yeah, I mean I think they tried to mix it up, which makes total sense because people like me are going to play a whole bunch of different characters just to see what they're like. People like Draven do that too. So it makes sense that they're not all the same, but sometimes it feels like some of them got more love than other ones did. But overall, I still think it's a huge success on their part. It makes it pretty obvious for me which ones I really enjoy playing or not without even playing them, which doesn't make sense, but it's true. Now the Hunter Hall, I'm gonna have to disagree a little bit with Galv. I didn't think the story was crap. I think buying your hidden artifact skin was stupid, even though it didn't make sense because people like bows over guns, I guess, for BM. But the biggest problem for me with the Hunter area is it's so spread out and things don't really seem like where they should be. But the scenery matches. It makes sense for it to be where it is and look the way it looks.
Yeah. Warrior was another one that I have mixed feelings on.
I hated the Warrior at first. I like it now.
I like that it's where it is, but at the same time, it's where are all the other NPC warriors that I would recognize and not just Vrykul and stuff like that. Why am I the only one? I'm the greatest warrior ever, but I must prove myself to Odin like many times over.
Well, see, that's the thing. They have the ability to do that too, because like in the warrior class hall, there's a section that's like a brawling room, where you literally could like duel. That's where all those hunters or those warriors should be.
No, I'm talking the raid. In order to progress to Guarm and such, you must prove yourself to Odin. But honestly, if you have a warrior in your group, you should get a buy.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And
I mean, it'd be unfair. We're bringing a warrior. Why? Because we don't feel like doing Odin.
And Herjin Himdall's one of my followers on my warrior. So why do I have to fight him? Anyway.
You are greater than I am. Oh, yeah. It's a little awkward. So that they could have thought that through, but
yeah. But anyway, I think that's gonna pretty much do it for us tonight. Let's do some contacts real quick, and then we'll do some shout outs. So at Epic Fail Podcast, we do love it when you contact us. So here's the ways that you can do that. We are at www.epicfailpodcast.com. On Facebook, you can find us at /podcastepicfail. Twitter is at podcastepicfail. You can follow Draven at Draven Dresden on Twitter. You can follow Scarlet at Scarlet_CTR. And you can follow me, Theory, at Gank Theory, also on Twitter. Don't forget, you can find our podcasts on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. We look forward to hearing from you. Scarlett, do you have shout-outs this week?
I would like to... It's not really a shout-out. It's like an applause for whoever designed the kitschy cute meme stuff for the new patch.
Falling over in my chair. Okay. Draven?
I will give a shout out to all content creators who did not take too much time off over the last few weeks because, news was fairly light last couple weeks. There's been some, but obviously I'm not shouting out us because, that's just weird. But all the other ones that are out there that just kept putting stuff out and good stuff out, I will do that because it provided many needed hours of entertainment.
Okay, so I will give a shout out to CTR Guild, all the members, all the officers, and more specifically to CTM, Convert to Mythic, which is giving away a run through Mythic EN for the what anniversary is it? Is it fifth anniversary? Draven, do you know the number? Fourth.
I think it's fourth.
It's 4-year anniversary of CTR Guild. There is a prize being drawn for someone to get a mythic carry through EN. Pretty awesome that Tatva and Tovo and all the other officers decided to do that. It's pretty cool. If you haven't had a chance, there's some advertisements on the website in order to try to sign up for that. Hopefully I will see you there. But that's pretty awesome stuff. And you know, we're coming up on that. It's like what, 10 days or something, so or less. So big shout out to CTR for the anniversary. All right. Do we have any last words?
Moo.
Freeze! Don't move.
Moo.
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 Moo. Moo. Moo.
Moo.
Moo. Moo.
Moo.
Hello, mother.
You know, the world could always use more heroes.